Alrighty guys, it's Zach here. Wanted to show you guys a quick update on the ADA 60F. Show you guys a few things that we've done to the system. So the first thing you can see right here is that we went ahead and bought a label maker and labeled all these switches down here. We've had a few instances where we needed someone to do something on the aquarium for us, and it was a little difficult without these being labeled to tell them what to turn on and off. So we bought the label maker, went ahead and labeled everything. It looks nice and neat. We also cleaned somewhat up the inside of this down here. You can see it looks nice and neat. LED bar is still holding up pretty well. As far as the Apex goes, we bought excuse the mess, a gaming router to hook it up to the internet, and a router, like an actual router to hook it up to the internet. We have the Apex working on our home network, but we're still having some issues setting it up with the router and port forwarding. Looks like it should be working, but for whatever reason it's not. So if anyone is an expert on that, let me know. I'd really appreciate the help. To answer a question that I had the other day, let's see what our settings are. It's a little bit of time setup easy. Okay, so I'm going to point it at the aquarium just because I know the camera won't focus on the unit itself, but we have our whites at 10%, violet at 40%, red and green at 30%, deep blue, royal, and UV at 40%. We have this dimmed to 40% brightness by the controller itself, just so that our corals can acclimate to being in the shallow tank. I'm going to go ahead and turn off the empty 10s here right now. Give you guys a look-see at some of the corals that we have here that are doing a little bit better than they were in the last video. So let's see how things are doing. So first one I want to highlight, and maybe you might even go into macro mode. Let's see. Alright, let's stay with autofocus. Okay, so the first coral I want to highlight is these gold panthers. They are doing fantastic since the last video. They've colored up a lot. They're starting to get some real bush, I don't know, longer skirts, if you will. We've been feeding them a lot of powdered oyster eggs, and they seem to be liking it. Going down the line, we see the pink elephants are not looking as great as I thought they would. I think one of the larger polyps went ahead and died off. But we have this left, so we're going to try to save the colony with this right here. You can see the purple pupilators look really, really awesome. Let's see what else we have that looks good compared to last time. These ones right here. I just got my hand wet. These rainbow ones from the last video, you can see them right about there in the center, are finally opened up. They're looking pretty good. Let's see, we can see the armor of gods in the middle right there underneath. The green zoas back there. The blue agaves open up looking pretty nice. I think that's it. I think everything else is open. You can see the rostas are starting to open right here. Let's see if I can focus on them. Yeah, you can see them right there. They're starting to open up, so they're looking pretty good. Since the last video, we've also added a few corals, so I'm going to go ahead and show you guys those right now. So starting up top, we have two SPS frags. These are from the Bali region. I don't have their names off the top of my head. I know one is I think a yellow tip scaly, but I'm not certain what the other one is. You can see the blue stag right there. Also, this coral's opening up really good. My neon green toadstool is looking fantastic. It's really liking where it's at right now. You can see the other one is doing alright. Not doing too great, but not doing bad at all. Going down here, you can see we have another frag of Miami Vice. I picked these up at a pretty good deal because the frag itself wasn't looking too good. But they're opening up, and it does give me a backup colony just in case mine croaks. So let's see what we got. We have a rainbow acan. This one is blue, orange, red, and green. Obviously, the LEDs are kind of blanking out the color a little bit, but it's sitting right there looking really good. You can see these Gatorades in the center look really, really sweet. Let's see, what else do we got here? Captain America is looking a little peeved right now. Okay, going down here we have these Fire and Ice. these red ones right here. They're red with a blue skirt. They look really, really cool. They're not Spider-Mans. They look a little different. Here's my Spider-Man colony, one of them right here. Or sorry, colony frag. If it'll ever focus on it. No, maybe not. These are looking really, really good right here. I got a really good price for these. I think I paid like 10 bucks for this little colony. And whenever they start growing out a little bit more, I'll put them up here on the rock. We also have these green ones right here. They're called Wow Wabigong Pallies. Doing pretty good for me. These are also opening up a lot more from the last video. These green ones right here. I called these green lanterns. I'm not sure what exactly they're called though, but they look pretty cool right there. You can see these red people eaters not looking as great as I would like. Same with the magician's pallies right there. You can see a lot of algae growing on them, so I'm hoping that they will make a turnaround here in the next week or so, 2 weeks. I think that's it for the new additions. You can see my green hornets looking pretty good right there. My red people eater is still looking really good. You can see on my rock though, getting a little bit of hair algae, so I'm going to go ahead and pick myself up a few small turbo snails to get in all the nooks and crannies and kind of beef up my cleanup crew. I'll probably be doing that with Reef cleaners again. I've had nothing but great experiences with them. So I'm excited to place that order here probably within the next week or so. Hydra's still doing great. Obviously it is probably a little bit more light than this tank actually needs, but they are doing really good. And I think that's it. I think those are all the corals that I added since the last time. I've basically just been getting like a toothbrush and kind of brushing off the rocks as the algae forms. If you guys are any good at Apex programming or randomly SPS identification, let me know. I do have a few things that I did want to get, some names on. Went ahead and turn off lights so you can see the tank in all its glory. It's been doing pretty good. There's another shot right there. Yeah, I've been really happy with this tank so far. The tank itself, it's my first experience with low iron glass, and it scratches a little bit more than I like. I have one nice little scratch on the front pane. It's maybe about the size of maybe a dime, but it's not too visible. Can't really even see it. It's right there. It's kind of annoying, but even just, a foot away, you can't even notice it. And so I guess that's one of the benefits of the low iron glass, but it's something that I'm going to mess around with. I've read that you can use like a toothpaste baking soda mixture to kind of make the scratches a little less noticeable. So I'm going to play around with that whenever I get a chance. But yeah, I'll show you guys the sump real quick. Show you how everything's working down there. So the sump looks really good. Auto top off is doing really nicely. The other day I had a pretty sizable spill in the sump. I wasn't sure what it was at first, but when I went ahead and kind of thought about what it could be, it ended up being that the spigot end of that, where it attaches into there, was actually a little bit loose, and so it was dripping water. And I was glad that it wasn't my sump itself, because I've already had to replace the sump once when I first got it in the mail. It had a crack in it, so I was glad that that wasn't the issue. Sorry about that. So sump is doing good. Auto top off's keeping me held over for about 3.5 days now, and it's kind of a little bit, maybe it's been 3 days, and it's almost empty. So definitely what I wanted to get out of it was at least 3 days out of it, and went ahead and did that with a 1.25 gallons. So there's the tank. Let me know if you guys have any questions, comments, or just want to see anything else in general. And thanks for watching, guys.